I'm Reaper with Forgotten Works Tactical. A lot of Patriots. I teach a lot of Patriots. You guys know that, whatever. A lot of guys keep asking about gear. And to be honest, I see a lot of assed up, like more fucked up than a football bat kind of gear. No offense to anybody, but just, you know, I see a lot of guys that try to play Call of Duty or like Hollywood or something, and they don't do their research and stuff, so I'm going to try to help you with some considerations. So here we go with this fancy like little whiteboard sign here. Gear considerations, right? First point we're going to discuss is cost. You know, does the system of gear fit your budget? I'm going to go over all the options, discuss, you know, some of the lower cost options, some of the higher cost options. In that cost, the guys that are looking for the fancier, you know, tactical gear and the what I consider a mount setup or a CQB setup, plate carriers, all of that, you get what you pay for. And we'll discuss that as we go along. Of ease of use, this not only includes, you know, moving stuff around on the system of gear, but actually the fasteners on the gear, the modular adaptability of the gear, which we'll go over as well. And we'll also include donning and doffing your gear. You know, if you do a layered approach like I do and like I recommend, you know, can you get that gear on and off in a hurry? Materials, what is it made out of? You know, is it nylon? Is it canvas? Is it leather? I'm a firm believer in not having things that melt and stick to you. If you guys want to see the pictures from my old third-degree burns, I'll show them to you. Availability. Is the gear actually available? Can I go purchase it locally? Do I have to order it online? You know, are the pouches available if I need to swap a pouch out? Whatever. Weapons platform. This is really important. Does that set of gear work with your weapons platform? You know, if you're an AR-15 guy, an AK guy, a SETME, G3, M1 Garand, whatever. Comfort. Obviously, you're going to be wearing the shit all day. Just like a good pair of boots, good uniform, you need to make sure it's comfortable. It's not going to dig into you, give you blisters, all of that. Stealth. Shape, shine, sound, color, all of that. That's really important with your gear. You know, can you be stealthy in it? Reliability. Is that system of gear reliable? Is it going to fall apart? Back to that discussion of you get what you pay for. Is it going to fall apart? Is it going to last? You know, is it going to hold up in combat? So those are the key considerations we're going to go over, and now I'm going to actually transition. I'll show you my set of gear first, explain the first, second, and third line gear concept, and then this video, I'm not going to go into what you should carry in your gear, but just rather how to carry your gear. So let's get started with that. Whiteboard to the side. So this is my personal gear. A lot of you guys have probably seen this on me. This is my second level. So basically what I mean by that is first line gear is the stuff on you, okay? Your rifle, your handgun, the shit in your pockets. I carry, you know, a multi-tool on me. I carry my survival kit on me, map, all that first line gear. I would consider that your first line gear. I also carry toilet paper on me. That's kind of essential. You know, whatever. So your second line gear is your next line of actual battle gear, okay? So your full kit. I kind of take that a step further, and I have my second line light and my second line heavy, which we'll go into here in a minute. And then your third line gear includes all your snivel gear, your cooking gear, your sleeping gear, all of that. Like, basically if your second line gear is your fighting load, your third line is what we call your sustainment load. So to basically sustain you. So we went over what I carry in my first line gear. I'm not really going to show you like the actual gear itself. I'll go into that in different videos. So, but second line gear, I actually use a 56 pattern canvas pouch, or canvas butt pack rather, sorry. I actually use this. This was used in Vietnam. I actually have the guy's name and everything else right here in his ID little holder. This set of gear actually went to Vietnam, and the crazy part is he was a medic in Vietnam, which is even cooler. Hence, a lot of these, not all of these packs, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I've seen some of these that don't have grommets all the way around. A lot of guys literally carried 7 and 8 canteens if they were a medic. I mean, lots and lots of canteens if you were a medic, especially in Vietnam. So I use 56 pattern butt pack. I have 56 pattern canvas suspenders. I have them disconnected right now just because I was moving stuff around. And then from there, I have standard Alice LC2 pistol belt on a Tactical Tailor battle belt. I love this. I got it a couple years ago. They changed it. I'm going to show you a Rothko one here in a little bit. It's a little more padded, but I don't really like it because of that reason. And then obviously I have my IFAK. And even if you use a Camelback, I really, really recommend that you have some sort of what I call pourable water. Whether it be a Nalgene bottle, whether it be a 1 quart Alice canteen that I'll show you here in a minute. I prefer the Nalgene bottle just because it screws to my water filter I use. And this nice, this is actually a Condor, I believe, Nalgene bottle holder, but I may be wrong. But I have my admin pouch on there, and that actually holds some of my stuff. And then I use this and my radio pouch because our team radios, our inter-team radios rather, for like person-to-person, we use the Baofeng UV5Rs, the UV8s, all of that, so the GT3s. So I have a radio pouch for that. So that's my light load. I also carry a drop leg with my holster on my drop leg. I have that off right now because I was using it for something else. But I actually use a Blackhawk. Actually, I lie. I'll go over it here in a second, which model platform I use. It is actually a Special Operations Technologies drop leg, and then I use a Blackhawk Serpo with the Molly adapter on that for my drop leg. But I was teaching a class the other day, so I got a little bit different gear set up right now, is why everything's kind of moved around. But I'll go into that. So this is my actual personal belt, and then I layer, depending on what the METTC is, what the mission is, I'll put this under my plate carrier. So if we're doing CQB or I'm in and out of a vehicle, I'll have a plate carrier, and then I'll have this, hence why there's not a lot of ammo on here. I can also throw, there's plenty of room on here. Normally I'll put 2 ammo pouches on here, but I'll show you on my other belt how I have that set up right now. So the first thing I'm going to go into is one of the cheapest and best solutions that I really, really recommend for Patriots on a budget, and that is good old Alice. And when I first joined the U.S. Army, we were still using Alice, and to be honest, I think I've humped more Alice than any other girl, that and Molly, but I actually really prefer the Alice. So, this is the original Alice system. This is the shitty, kind of like junk, actually, these are H suspenders. I take that back. I have a set with the H suspenders on. Most of these come with what's known as a Y suspender, which right here, this runs down and connects to a single point Y, and then the Y breaks in the back to 2 hooks. This is actually the H system, and I love the H system, to say the least, hence this 56 pattern H suspenders. This system is nylon, which is one of the concerns. I mean, it actually will melt to your body. For some reason, the nylon that they made this Alice out of does not melt as bad as the Molly stuff does. I don't know why. I think there's also a difference, obviously, in mil-spec versus, like, if you buy the cheaper Rothko. The Rothko nylon melts like there's no tomorrow, so try to avoid it. So anyway, so this is an Alice setup, and this system right here, you can get an entire system with canteen pouches, you know, canteen, everything else, which I'm going to come off camera here for a second. So this is your standard Alice canteen. This is actually a soft one. These were designed for airborne guys so that they don't actually, you can see this is crushable. It's so you don't actually blow your freaking kidneys out and piss blood everywhere if you land on one of these. But the standard Alice canteen's a little harder than this. This one's a little softer. But basically, this is the Alice canteen. You could get one of those canteen pouch. The suspenders, normally it'll be a Y setup. But you can get all of this, usually, no lie, for around 20 or 30 bucks at a gun show. This system right here works perfectly fine, okay? So for all the people that swear they need a plate carrier, all of that, yet don't have ammo pouches, but have a plate carrier. Oh, I got a plate carrier. Oh, I got this fancy Molly shit. But you don't have everything you need, go yourself to the gun show, buy this system, okay? It will work for you, and it works fantastic. It's comfortable. So what we're going to do, we're going to go over cost here. Obviously, it's cheap, okay? Even if you piece it out and buy it piece by piece, get it used. This shit's surplus. I mean, we were using this when I first joined the Army. There is a lot of this on the surplus market. Don't go buy it new. There's no sense in buying Alice gear new. I can understand maybe if you want to find a set of the H suspenders, buying them new. I bought these new a while back. But I'm going to go over a way here in a second on how to fix some of these, okay? Or fix some of the issues with this, especially if you have the Y set up. So anyway, this is Alice gear, like I said. It is cheap, okay? Obviously, materials, it's made out of nylon, but reliability-wise, this nylon holds up really, really well. One of the problems with the reliability of Alice gear is it uses slide keepers. You guys probably can't see these, but if you ever just Google it, Alice slide keeper, these come undone and you will drop your shit when it is most important, especially when it's a sensitive item and you're like in the middle of a swamp. So what I recommend doing, this system is kind of the loaner gear, so it's just kind of chilling here right now. But I dummy cord everything. Run 550 cord through where the Alice keeper goes. Double knot it, tie it on, put a little dab of super glue on there. You can also use zip ties. Zip ties work wonders. Just cut them off. They're sharp on the edges is the only problem with that. So, but this is the Alice system. It's cheap. It's reliable. The only major reliability issue I have with it is the Alice slide keepers fall off. But like I told you, how to fix those problems. Stealth, it's a little noisy. It's nylon, and the clips on the magazine pouches, the little plastic clips, can make some noise, but it's no different than all that loud ass Velcro on the Molly. So it's just kind of, you know, it is what it is. So weapons platform, this gear, I'm about to show you something crazy here. It was originally designed for the M16, M4 family series of rifles, but it works perfectly well for shotgun ammo. I mean, this is military double-aught buck. You can actually rip your shotgun, the cardboard box, the ammo box, rip it open, stick it in there. It holds shotgun ammo. It holds, you can put M14 mags, M1A mags in here, Setney G3 mags. You can put carbine mags in here for, like, I've run Czech Evo Scorpion. I can put the mags in here. I'll just put something underneath of them, like a wadded up field dressing, and it'll lift them up. AK mags, however, you're not putting in here. However, they do make Alice AK magazine pouches and ammunition pouches for your AK. You can find them. They work. They're a little taller. They work great. These are grenade holders on the side somewhere. I might have them on this setup. It's not on this setup. But if you want to stack a whole lot of these really close together on your belt, because each one of these holds 3 30-round magazines for an M16, you can actually cut these off, cut the little grenade things off, and you can put them closer on your belt. So, for example, this is the gear that I hand somebody if they, you know, it's an emergency and they need gear. So, for example, all of these are full of shotgun ammo, but you can actually put survival gear in these pouches. You can put your first aid stuff in here. I mean, your IFAK will fit in a M16 small arms case for Alice gear. So this system, you know, availability, surplus market. Ease of use, obviously really, really easy to use. You literally just throw this on. I mean, it stays together, throw it on, you know, it's a set of gear. Throw it over your shoulders, buckle the belt, simple as that. Comfort, that's where the issue is. So these can dig into you really bad if they're Y suspenders. What a lot of guys do is you actually cut these metal clips out and you run a piece of 550 cord through and you knot the 550 cord. So you run it through the belt, put a little knot on it, hold that all together. It keeps the metal clips from digging into your back. I actually, no lie, had a PT mat, like the roll-up foam sleeping mat. I cut that off and actually duct taped it to my gear in the Army, and that's how I made it a little more comfortable. Reliability, we went over that. So this right here, I'm telling all you patriots that are like, oh, I don't have gear, I don't have anything, but, you know, whatever. Go buy this, okay? Don't eat McDonald's for the next week. You know, don't smoke cigarettes for the next week. Buy yourself some fucking gear so that you can actually operate, okay? And get your job done as a patriot rifleman or a patriot militiaman. Go to the gun show, buy yourself this. Even has get yourself a nice trifold shovel. This is the later issued one. This is actually the Gerber style, the plastic one. And it's plastic handle, plastic top with the metal blade. I kind of like it. It's a little lighter than the metal one. I cannot tell you its reliability yet because I haven't hacked on shit with it. So, but all of this, not including the E-tool, but all of this with canteen, everything else, 20, 30 bucks from the gun show, right? Simple as that. Priority 1 Surplus has it. Pretty much every surplus store you walk into will have this system. So, that system right there, okay, came from the system that I kind of use parts of for my gear, is the 56 pattern gear. So this right here, I got brick gear mixed up in there, is the 56 pattern gear. Notice how this looks similar, right? So this is all canvas. It's literally that, but canvas. And that's basically all I can say about it. Obviously, same deal as the Alice gear. It's going to be a little more expensive. These cases right here are small arms universal ammunition pouches. So right here, case, small arms, ammunition, universal. These are a little more expensive than the Alice gear because there's a lot of that left on the surplus market. This stuff, there's a lot of it out there, but it's starting to get a little harder to find, and the reenactors are snatching it up. So, but you can still get it. It's still cheaper than all your fancy Molly gear. You just got to shop around for it. Major Surplus has some of it. You know, I have a metal canteen in here. This is actually my World War II canteen. I think that's a World War II dated one. Yeah, 44. So, and you know, whatever. It's just what I had to stick in my 56 gear. I do World War II reenacting, so I have a lot of that gear floating around. So this 56 pattern gear works great if you have any 308 battle rifle. I mean, M1A, M14, SETME, G3, all those clones. The magazines will fit in here. They make 45 magazine ammo pouches for your pistol, everything. I mean, you name it, this system works. Same thing as the Alice gear. Has all of the considerations, except that it's canvas. So it's not going to melt to you, it's not going to burn to you, and it holds up really, really well. I mean, all this gear was used Korea, Vietnam, you know, all the way up to the 80s. Some of this stuff was still in with the National Guard when I came in. So, that's that. Moving along, we're going to stick with surplus here for a minute, and then we will go to, you know, what you can actually buy modern-wise. So, as you guys know, I run Czech VZ58 rifles. I have a lot of extra Czech VZ58 rifles, so in case, you know, I need to outfit people in a hurry. And one of the things I actually keep around is actual Czechoslovakian gear. Okay, now I have a Cold War impression that I take the timeline events, but this is the actual Czechoslovakian gear. This is 62 pattern Czech gear. They changed now. But this set of gear, just, you know, standard leather belt, leather bayonet sheath, leather and canvas suspenders, leather magazine pouch. These will hold AK mags, VZ58 mags, you name it. I have VZ58 mags in there, obviously. But this gear right here, cost-wise, very, very cheap. Couple of the things are a little harder to find. The belt is a little hard to find, but you can actually use a Russian belt. It doesn't need to be the Czech belt. You can use pretty much any belt. You can actually use your standard pants belt with this and hook the suspenders to it. All of this. KeepShooting.com has this. Major Surplus has this. You know, if you're running an AK rig, this is a cost-effective option. You know, it has the E-tool on it. Comfort-wise, maybe not so much. You know, I mean, it's comfortable, but it wasn't designed for, you know, to actually be the most comfortable system out there. I like it. It bangs around a little is my only issue with it. But ease of use, it's all right there. Cheap, easy, quick, effective. You know, they make the canteen for it. I mean, here's the bread bag. So basically, this is your little sustainment pouch. And holds another magazine, your cleaning kit, all of that has a canteen on it. The biggest thing I hate about all these systems is here's your canteen, okay? So with the U.S. Army system, obviously you can grab your canteen out, you can drink, pull it out of your belt, take a swig, put it back in. With this, you can't. It's literally strapped into this leather thing. You have to completely take it off. You can't just pull the canteen out real easy, take a drink, whatever. So, use your canteen cup, just pour a little in your canteen cup, and then take a swig, and if you have to, you drop your canteen cup, and it's dummy corded to you. So, same thing. Pretty cheap. Maybe, you know, if I had to consider it between the Alice gear and the Molly gear, it would be about the same as the 56 pattern gear. It's really, really available. I mean, you can use any of this. For example, this is Yugoslavian gear. Here's a little Yugoslavian backpack. This is what I have for my RPK gunners. You know, I have RPK drum mag pouches and the Yugoslavian gear. That's what I have for the RPK grab-and-go bag. Same thing. Insanely cheap. I mean, you're talking set of gear for 20 bucks. Okay? Is it the best thing? Are people going to pick on you? I don't know if people are going to pick on you. If they don't like your fucking gear, they can fuck off, right? So, absolutely cost-effective, good gear, gets you on the battlefield. So, moving out of the surplus stuff, we have one more thing to discuss, and that's British gear. I am actually not a fan whatsoever of British gear, but it's okay because neither are the Brits. I lie, though. I like the British uniforms. But their gear setup is absolute junk. The only thing I like about it is canvas. But the way the suspenders work, the way the system works, the way the belt works, I feel it's junk, but you can get an entire rig that will work for pretty much every weapons platform out there for 20 bucks. And I mean, it has everything, right down to the water bottle. Coleman's Military Surplus actually has this system labeled as Czech for some reason. If you go on, they have Czech tactical gear set for like 15, 20 bucks. It's actually British. Don't let them lie to you. That's how I ended up with British gear. So, there's a Czech backpack. You know, canvas works really well. Alright, moving along, the next thing we have in the modern gear setup is your standard chest rig. I am a huge believer in chest rigs, and this is actually what I layer. If I'm doing mount or vehicle-based operations, I put on a plate carrier. If I'm not doing that and I'm moving through the woods, I layer a good chest rig, a very good chest rig, over my light gear that I showed you before. I actually use, this is a Condor that I have just running around, but I actually use a Strike Hard AK rig for my VZ58. Fantastic guys. I love them. If you're not using an AR-15 platform, if you're in an AK or something weird like a Mosin Nagant, SKS, any of the Russian-made weapons, go check out Strike Hard gear. Their gear is indestructible and it works flawlessly. I love it. And it's comfortable. So, and fairly cheap. You can get a decent chest rig for like 70, 80 bucks. So, check that out. But chest rigs are great. I mean, they hold all your weapon magazines, pistol mags, you know, AK mags, everything else in here. Stick your water bottle on the side, your IFAK on the other side. This is a complete grab-and-go kit, guys. I mean, this is a Condor. I think you could pick one of these up for $30. And they're stitched pretty well. I mean, a lot of people talk shit about Condor, but I mean, I've been impressed so far. I've stretched this thing to its max and haven't really had any problems with it. So that's your next step up in the Molly gear, the modern gear. It works pretty well. So next thing is obviously your plate carrier. Now, this one is ceramic plates. These are actual military issued SAPI plates. And buy them. Listen to me. I don't give a shit what AR-500 says. Oh, our steel plates are great. They'll take a 50 cal round. Let me tell you something. For all the jackasses out there that go, oh, my plate will stop a 50 cal round. Let me shoot you with it. Okay? Put it on. Let me shoot you right in the chest with a 12 gauge. Yes, it might stop it from penetrating. However, you're going to have an absolutely ripped apart thoracic cavity. Okay? You're going to get hit with blunt force trauma. You're going to get hit with all that rippling. You're going to get hit with flail chest because like all your ribs are going to be broke. I've been hit in the vest before. It sucks, okay? It feels like getting hit with a freight train. So for all you guys that are like, oh, the AR-500 will stop all this shit and they're so cheap and whatever, it's great. Spend the extra $100 if you are hell-bent on having plates, okay? If you're hell-bent on having plates. And I advise you, borrow a plate carrier, okay, as a patriot. fighting in terrain like we fight in, borrow a plate carrier, go out there, run 6 miles in your plate carrier, then hike another 20. This shit is heavy, guys. You're talking 30 extra pounds, plus ammo, water, everything else. Most of you guys, I don't give a shit who this offends, are not in good enough shape to put all that on and go do 26 kilometers. Okay? Just being honest here. So put it on, borrow somebody's plate carrier and everything else before you go, oh, I'm going to buy AR 500 plates because they're 200 bucks. Whatever. Go put shit on. Because these are Savvy plates and they're still just as heavy. Okay? Savvy plates are lighter than AR 500 and they're still heavy. So, these are obviously plate carrier. This is, I believe this one is a Tactical Tailor. I'm not sure who makes this one. So I know we have a couple of them floating around. One of mine is a Tactical Tailor. I bought a Condor one for somebody recently. But either way, this is your Molly plate carrier. Now, cost, obviously cost, as soon as you get into the Molly gear, you're looking at a lot of money. Bare minimum, even if you buy a Condor plate carrier, you're looking at $80 for the plate carrier, at least $200 or $300 for plates, and then that doesn't even include your magazine pouches. So, for example, this here, right here, this is a double mag pouch. This will actually hold 3 AR mags each, or 2 AK mags in each side. You know, all of these, this is an actual military issued M4 magazine pouch. This is the Marine Corps issued one, and it works really well for a single VZ mag. This is a Red Rock outdoor gear mag pouch. You're talking almost $12, $13 just for a single mag pouch. So cost effectiveness, the Molly stuff is cool. You can get a lot of pouches. You can get anything you want, like this IFAC pouch. You can get the Nalgene bottle carrier I showed you. You can get a large pouch. You can get rip-away EMS pouches. You name it, they make it. However, cost-effective wise, if you're a prepper, if you're a patriot on a budget, do you necessarily need this for the cost you are paying for it? No. The only major, thing that I can honestly say that you get when you pay for the cost of Molly gear is the adaptability and the modular setup of it. Where with the PALS webbing, you can actually move it around on the ladder rack system. So, and you can actually get pretty much anything. So instead of just getting one single pouch, you kind of got to stuff everything in, you can get custom-made pouches out there for each thing you want to put in it. So cost-effective wise, that's one thing I can say that is a little better maybe. Materials, nylon, it's shiny, it's noisy, depending on who makes it. Some of the stuff is only single-stitched, some of it is double-stitched. I recommend really spending the money to actually find military-grade stuff because the fact that it's IR compliant and isn't going to make you light up like a torch at night. However, materials, this stuff will melt into you. Don't believe me? I can show you pictures. Weapons platform, obviously with the Molly gear, the pouches, not every pouch is going to fit your weapon. So obviously if you get an M4 pouch, I was lucky enough to shove an AK mag in there. Some of them won't. Like obviously this one will not button all the way down because these are designed for M4 pouches, but they'll work for an AK. However, the weapons platform, you have to have the pouches that fit for your weapons platform. So that's one of the considerations. Stealth, not very stealthy, guys. And obviously all of this moves. I mean, you can hear that. It's loud. Stuff shifts around on Molly. In that aspect, maybe not necessarily the stealthiest. Plus, if you can tell, okay, I'm going to hold up like canvas versus the Molly. Obviously, the canvas is not reflecting light. Now, that being said, a lot of these Fastex buckles are a lot better than the metal buckles because the paint doesn't wear off and it doesn't shine light. So in that aspect, you got to be, consider that. The snaps, however, the paint comes off and they'll start to shine. Reliability-wise, it's only been around for a little over a decade. I mean, I'd say probably 13, 14 years now. So the reliability's there. I mean, the military obviously switched to it. So, but my feelings on why the military changes gear. Comfort, it's pretty comfortable. I mean, other than the weight, It's comfortable. It's also hot. Like, the nylon doesn't breathe. It's pressed up against you all day. It doesn't breathe very well. And you will roast. Trust me. I've had this shit on in desert environments. It is not necessarily the funnest thing to wear all night long. So, ease of use. Obviously, it's very modular. It's very adaptable. So, in that aspect, it definitely is easy to use. Now, that being said, a couple of the things I want to really go over with gear that I hate seeing, and we'll go more into it on a video when we cover what gear to actually put in your bag or in your gear. But one of the things I really hate seeing, and I'm going to write big, huge thing here on this board, okay? Because this is the most important thing that I try to tell everybody when I teach classes. $50, okay? That's your magic rule, right there, 50%. Now, what do I mean by that? I explain this to everybody when I'm teaching classes. You stop somewhere, your battle buddy eats, you don't. You pay attention, okay? Vice versa. There's always 50% security. There should never, ever, ever be less than 50% security. So in that aspect, why are both of you carrying a sleeping bag? Why are both of you carrying some sort of crazy-ass cook system? I see patriots all the time overload themselves. We have a guy in our unit that, honest to God, I think he has a kitchen sink strapped to his fucking back. Okay? Their rucks are full. You guys carry way too much shit. Oh, I have 27 different ways of making fire. Okay, that's fantastic. Have 2 double redundant, reliable ways of making fire. You know, whatever. I'm going to show you one more thing. I got to come off camera here for a second. You know, I love my Whoopee. There's a poncho and a poncho liner in here. Okay, the Whoopee is the greatest thing ever created. This is actually the Vietnam issued, like, real heavy duty rubber poncho. Before they went to the lighter weight poncho. I have my lighter weight poncho in my actual, like, ruck. But the poncho liner is all you need, guys. Honest to God. In cold weather gear, one person carries a heavy sleeping bag. But in your bug out bag and all that, one of these does perfectly fine. Okay, this great casualty blanket will keep your ass alive till you get to something better or can build shelter or whatever. That, every person should have something like that. Every person doesn't need a 3-part sleep system. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you guys because I try to explain it to people and it just doesn't seem to get through their head. You know, so that's one of the biggest things I can go over is empty your fucking bag out because you guys are carrying way too much shit and then they can't even walk a mile because they carry way too much shit. So that's my basic short class on what gear to get. Like I said, if you're on a budget, aim for the Alice gear. This stuff will work. It'll save your life, and that way you can't complain, oh, I don't have somewhere to put anything. Because you need some way to carry water and ammunition, guys. That's the most important thing, water and ammunition. So, you know, whatever. So hopefully that helps a couple people out there, and that's all I have to say. So have a great day.